Hey, this is Dr. Claw here with part 2 of the Welcome to Class video for Business Writing Spring 2019. The second video will go through assignments and how to complete them, where to find them, how the course schedule works and all that. But first I wanted to pick up where we left off in the first video, which is talking about some of the resources available to you as a student at Clemson. So one is Student Accessibility Services, aka information about disability, pride, and culture. So, whether you know if you're disabled or not, it's useful to know about student accessibility services at Clemson. They offer a variety of ways to make your learning more effective here at Clemson. And so I hope that you will get in touch with me and with them if you would like some assistance as you proceed through the term. And there are several different ways to get in touch with student accessibility services. So you can call them, email them, or visit them. They're in Suite 239 in the Academic Success Center. And then there's a link here with more information. For me, you can, of course, email me at my normal email, kaldebo@clemson.edu. There are other resources as well. So maybe you would like some support, but you don't necessarily want to go the Student Accessibility Services route. There's the Academic Success Center, which is actually where SAS is located, but they offer a variety of tutoring services. And there's the Writing Center, which can help you with your writing in terms of overall content, style, organization. They can do a lot of different things for you, and they offer appointments and drop-in. There are the library online resources, CCIT, which might be important for you as you navigate this online class because technology is such an integral part of the class. Also links here to academic advising and the registrar, which might become relevant to you throughout the term. Okay, and just a quick word about online conduct. Most of you are probably pretty familiar with the concept of etiquette or network etiquette because you have grown up with the internet, but I think there are two important things to keep in mind. One, don't waste people's time. So we're a business writing course. It's better if you don't post, like some random thing that doesn't relate to our class in any way because that's wasting people's time. And then number two, don't say anything to a person online that you wouldn't say face to face. This is just good etiquette and good strategy for any kind of online interaction. And here are some more specific behavioral guidelines. Please avoid all caps. That's shouting. And that sort of thing. Stay on topic. This is a good one. Do a quick check of the discussion board or course site before posting or emailing questions to see if the question you're about to ask has already been posted. And I'll show you on a Yellow Dig video how you can kind of track down whether something has already been posted and whether your question has already been answered, because that's not necessarily intuitive on Yellow Dig, and I understand that, but I want to give you your best shot at having those answers immediately if they've already been answered rather than having to ask them again. Okay, so that brings us to the Title IX statement. Basically, every one of you is entitled to an education without harassment. And that kind of harassment can take all sorts of forms. And basically, Clemson does not discriminate based on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender, pregnancy, national origin, age, disability, veteran status, genetic information, or protected activity in employment, educational programs and activities, admissions, and financial aid. And this Title IX statement also includes the sexual harassment and sexual violence prohibition. So please respect others and be willing to listen to others' point of view, and that's going to help you provide a respectful environment for everyone to learn in. Okay, so now let's look at our course schedule. So first of all, this is our textbook. As I mentioned, we're using open educational resources, so our textbook is online. There is a download option, however. So if you click on the link to take you to the textbook, you'll see it's right here. And you're looking specifically for Business Communication for Success. That's the name of the title. These chapters should match up with the chapters as you see them in the course schedule. So Chapter 1 should be about communication. Chapter 6 should be about style in some way, so you can kind of check in on that. I'm pointing this out because I have had students who got confused and got a slightly different textbook in the past. So do double check and make sure that your textbook that you download, that it matches up with these chapter titles and sections. So everything that I've typed out right here, like why is it important to communicate well, or what is communication, those are the subtitles of each of those subsections. So that should match up with what you're seeing in your textbook. Anyway, you can access it in multiple formats. So you can use it as a PDF. So there's the HTML version of it. And if you go back to the main page, you'll see there's also an option to download this book. I recommend a digital PDF because that's searchable, and that's what I use. You'll find that this is a different textbook. You'll find that on the digital PDF that you can access the chapters very easily. You'll click on the little bookmark here, and then that's where you can find these subsections. So that's an easy way to do it if you get that digital PDF. Okay, so that's our textbook, and then I have the course schedule here in the syllabus, but I want to show you also the quickest way to access it, which is here in this giant course schedule link. That's on the homepage of our class Canvas. This is the one I'm always going to be live updating, so I might not always remember to update the one that's embedded in the syllabus, but this one is always going to be live updated, and you'll see, again, the textbook is linked right here. And you'll find that each week has a selection of readings, a selection of assignments, and it'll tell you what the topics are. So I'm going to break down the first 2 weeks because week 1 is a little strange since we start on a Wednesday. Week 2 will be a better model for how this will typically work. So this week, we start on Wednesday. You have 3 things to read other than the syllabus. And I encourage you at the beginning of the week to click through some of the links to see how long the things are, because they're different links. Some things are going to be, an OER item like this. Some things are going to be videos or podcasts. So it's worth looking ahead of time just to verify how long it's going to be. So this is pretty short, this business letters item. And then you'll see here, this is also pretty short. Eliminating wordiness. And then there's always, almost always going to be textbook sections. And so I'll ask you to read certain parts of the textbook, and those are really going to help guide our discussions. So whatever is on your reading assignment for the week will guide our discussions. Every week you will complete an assignment called a critical reading response, and that's what these CRs stand for. And in those you will write 2 critical comments about each numbered reading. And what I mean by that is, let's see, we've got number 1, number 2, number 3 right here. So you're going to write 2 comments about number 1, business letters, 2 comments about number 2, eliminating wordiness, and 2 comments about number 3, the textbook sections. So even though you might have a lot of subsections in the textbook section, you only have to write 2 comments total about whatever you're reading in the textbook. Otherwise, it would get a little out of control because you can see, like here we've got 3 different sections, here there's 4. So anyway, we're just kind of trying to keep this reined in a little bit. So that's how the reading section works and how that connects to the CRs. Now, usually your CRs will be due on Mondays. Because our week started late on a Wednesday, this is going to be due on Saturday. And then you'll have your next CR due on Monday as usual. So you've got a good bit of reading to do here at the beginning, and I recommend you just go ahead and plow through the first 2 weeks so that you can get caught up CR1 and CR2. Now, assignments that aren't the critical readings are going to be due on Fridays, and your first assignment will be due not this Friday, but the next one on January 18th, and that's your resume. And all of the assignment details are in Canvas, and that's where you submit all of your assignments as well. So any assignment you complete, whether it's a critical reading response or an assignment, it will be due on Canvas. And I have written that with each assignment as well. Where is it due? On Canvas. And the reason I'm emphasizing this is because sometimes people get confused about Yellow Dig. Do you submit anything on Yellow Dig? No, you don't submit any assignments on Yellow Dig. It's only for discussion. And we're going to look at that in just a moment. But you can see that in week 2, this is a more normal week. So you have your critical reading response due on the Monday, January 14th, and then you have your assignment due on the Friday, January 18th. In our Yellow Dig discussion for that week, we'll talk about resumes and design because that is the topic for this week. That's what our readings relate to. So as you post on Yellow Dig, you can write about any of the stuff that you've read about or anything else that maybe you've encountered that relates to those topics. You can even use some of your critical comments that you are submitting for your CRs to spark some Yellow Dig discussion. Maybe you've asked a question that you think is going to be really interesting for the class, or maybe you have a really interesting personal connection to something that we've read or an anecdote. You could post that on Yellow Dig. So anyway, that's how the course schedule works. So this is always where you want to look at the beginning of the week to see what you've got coming up. And keep in mind that your readings will always need to be done by the beginning of the week because we're going to be spending that week talking about them on Yellow Dig, and you'll be using what you learned in those readings to complete the assignments that are due on Fridays. That's why there's this disparity between when the readings are due versus when the assignments are due. The readings have to be done early in order to allow you to use them for the assignment and for class discussion throughout the week. So anyway, that is how the assignments and the course schedule works. And whenever you're ready to complete an assignment, you can come over to the assignments page. And I know I'm logged in as an instructor, and so your view will look a little bit different. It should say upcoming assignments, but starting January 9th, all of the assignments will be available, so you can work ahead if you need to, to try to build a buffer for yourself. And as you can see, each assignment will have detailed information. So we were talking about the critical reading assignment. Well, you click on that and you'll get all the information about what to do with those critical readings. And we'll talk about this more on Yellow Dig, about this assignment specifically. And then when you see, for instance, the resume assignment that's coming up, you click on that and you'll get information about what to do on that resume assignment. So the only thing that I need to show you how to do now is to start up Yellow Dig. So you'll go here to the Assignments tab, look for the Yellow Dig assignment, click on that. And I strongly encourage you to watch these 2 videos, Intro to Yellow Dig and Using Yellow Dig Effectively, because those are both going to help you. And then down here for you, it's going to say something like log into Yellow Dig or something. There's a button for you down here. And you have to click on this button in this assignment at least once this term in order to connect Yellow Dig to your Canvas. If you don't click on it, then you won't be getting any of the points that you earn on Yellow Dig transferred back to Canvas, and it can just make your grade haywire. And usually when people do that, they have a very sad surprise at the end of the term. So because their grade hasn't been accurate. Anyway, so just make sure that you click on that Yellow Dig button down here once at the beginning of the term, and after that you'll be able to use the regular Yellow Dig link, which I'll move higher up. You can use that in the future to log in, and that's pretty much it. So I'll be providing more videos throughout the term, and especially here at the beginning of the term, to help get you oriented with all the different aspects of this online class. But first things first, head over to modules, which is where you found this video. And make sure that you've read all 3 of these items for week 1, and then hop onto Yellow Dig and join our discussion. I'm looking forward to spending this spring with you, and go Tigers!